Well, hey, Melissa. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. How are you doing?
I am doing really good. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever.
And we used to see each other a lot.
Every day.
Melissa and I, in a number of former lives, we worked together back at some radio stations. So that was a
Nice.
long time ago. That was a long time ago.
There we go. We were
Yeah,
babies.
I know it. Well, I tell you what, man, we could just sit here and talk for hours about past stories, and we've already done some of that already. But Um, for those that don't know the greatness of Melissa, tell us about yourself and introduce your business to people that happen to watch.
Sure. So, my name is Melissa Hailey, and I am a real estate broker. I have been in the real estate industry for 15 years, and I own my own small brokerage. We're an independent brokerage. It's called North Texas Top Team. And our realtors basically help clients buy and sell residential property. We also work with landlords and renters, but our main primary focus is residential real estate all across North Texas.
Well, congratulations on that. I cannot believe it's been 15 years. That
I
just means that
know.
I'm old, is what that means. But
Yeah.
well, the world has definitely changed in 15 years, but the world has super changed in like a week. And that's what we're
Yeah, in
here to
like
talk
15
about.
days.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that. With pandemic, with coronavirus, with shutdown of non-essential businesses, um, what's going on in the real estate business from your standpoint?
Sure.
What's changed? What's the same?
Yeah. So some of the things are the same for our office because the way that our brokerage has been set up for a long time has been virtual. So all of my agents work from home. We do a lot of stuff with Zoom calls already. We do a lot with email signatures, like electronic signatures, like DocuSign. We've used mobile notaries for a long time. So a lot of those things are the same. But we have seen things change quite a bit in the real estate business just in the last, like you said, like 15 days, really. We've updated some of our operations because we're trying to keep our consumers healthy and safe, as well as our agents and our employees. And some of the things that we've done have made changes to ways we market properties. Where, like for example, now if I have a seller who's trying to sell a home, a buyer might not feel comfortable going inside that home, especially right off the bat, because it could be virus related, or it could be that they're worried about their job. There are so many concerns out there. So we're just trying to make it as easy as we can for the consumer. We've added video consultations. We did those before, but we're doing a lot more of them now. So we do a lot of things just like this on a Zoom call. We've added some different photography tours that are like a 3D 365 degree um, walkthrough tour of a property. So we've added those. We've done some just video walkthroughs on a cell phone, hey, here's the living room or whatever. And we're really going to take our buyer clients through more of a stringent qualification process ahead of time. Instead of just being qualified for the mortgage and so forth, we're asking people to actually qualify that house is the right fit for them before we take them to see it in person. So one of the things we might do is, as an agent, I might take my phone and set up a Zoom call. If you were buying a house, and I would say, Todd, let's walk through this house together at 3 o'clock on Friday. And I would take my phone, go to the house, and basically walk through and say, what do you think? Here, let me open the pantry for you, and give you an actual virtual tour together. And then after, looking online and doing your due diligence and maybe driving by the neighborhood and this virtual in-person virtual tour, if it's still the right house, okay, let's book a time to go see it. And that way it's less obtrusive for the seller, but it might make a buyer feel more comfortable if they're concerned about, the pandemic and being exposed to other people, in their home. So
That just that
that's
just
been a
sounds
big
like
change.
that sounds just like a great service that I wish we were doing back in the day.
Yeah.
That would
I
have
do
saved a
think
lot of
it'll,
would have saved a lot of my time. I don't know if it would have saved a lot of your time, but that's
yeah,
a really good service.
I think it's going to be the new normal. I think when we're done and we flattened the curve or whatever they're saying, and we feel like we can get back to normal and we're not in shelter at home shelter in place orders. I think it should be something that we can, I think a lot of the technology and the way businesses, not just ours, but any business runs, I think it's going to become the new norm for a lot of different things, you know, and in this case, I think for real estate, it would just be great. Wouldn't you rather, like you said, stay home on your couch and let me do all the work until you know it's the right house? And then, you know what, yeah, we'll go out and look at it together and, you know, bring the family or whatever.
Well, and thinking about so many folks that are moving to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a lot of times one of the spouses may already be here, the other spouse is back wherever they're moving from. I mean, you could have a Zoom call with both of them and do that at the exact same time.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
there's some
we've
really good
been
ways to
doing
do it.
that. We've been doing that for years. And even sometimes when they're relocating from across the country, doing this exact thing, it just wasn't as common
Right.
as now. It's like a requirement before we even go to that next step.
So let's just talk about your business. Is it slower? Is it crazy or busy? Like, what are you seeing just from, you know, kind of, the influx of calls or people selling and buying?
Sure. It's definitely over the last, say, 2 weeks, it's definitely evolved, and it is slightly slower than it was. And it's definitely slower than what we expect to see as we head into spring. As we're finishing up spring break and going into summer, usually we have a lot more activity because the weather's starting to be nicer. People are ready to start shopping. And I think, like I said a minute ago, I think some of it's because they're afraid, you know, for their health. But I also think a lot of it is some people are just worried. What if I have a job today and I qualify for a mortgage today, and by the time 30 days goes and I've bought the house and I've got my keys, what if something happens in my industry or the stock market, or, you know, whatever that financial crisis looks like? And I think it's got people a little bit more on edge. Does it mean it's a bad time to buy? No. I mean, interest rates are all over the place. They could be low in the morning and crazy in the afternoon and then low again at the end of the day. If somebody has a good trusted lender and they have confidence in their job and that stability, it's a great time to take advantage of the opportunity. But I do think some people are just nervous, and I can understand it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of uncertainty, right? I mean, every day,
Yeah.
it was today. Today is Friday, the 3rd,
Third.
when we're recording this, and, they just extended, shelter in place or the emergency till kind of the end of May. So, I mean, every day things are changing, right? So there's a lot of uncertainty as to how things
Oh
are
yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Um, any big things that you've done that, different than what we talked about, that you're just like, man, I wish we had been doing this earlier? I talked to another realtor, for example, and she, is doing Facebook Live open houses. So anything like that you're doing?
Same kind of a thing like we're doing for buyers. We're either upgrading the video walkthrough. The 360-degree walkthrough tours are great because anybody can look at them anytime. So we're not setting a time for an open house, but we're basically offering a virtual open house all day, every day, because it's not just the photos. And it's important. I'm actually in the process of finishing a blog post right now that I'm writing about the difference between virtual tours, because the term is used really loosely in real estate, that it could be a virtual tour if it's just the photos panning in and out with music behind it. That's not any more helpful than looking on realtor.com and clicking through the photos. So then there's the virtual tour where somebody's walking through with their camera going, hey, look around the house. Then we have these tours that are the 360-degree tours. All of those are great tools that we can put out there for a consumer, but knowing the difference between the three and sort of that they're almost stair-step levels of service. But the meeting in person and the walking through in person and talking about the property, we just want to have that available all the time. So it's not like a set open house time, but we will do the set showing time with the consumer that way, because we want them to be able to, ask questions and have that one-on-one time with us where we can open up that closet or whatever that looks like, whatever thing that consumer has a question about.
That's really good. So as of today, again, April 3rd, real estate, commercial and residential. You just represent residential, right? Do you do
We
commercial
just
also?
represent residential, but
Okay.
both residential and commercial have been deemed essential services. So, like you said, things are changing every day. And I'll tell you what, when everything first started happening, and Dallas didn't make real estate essential, but Collin County did. Well, we work in North Texas. We work across both counties. And I have agents that live in both counties that work at
Right,
my
right.
office. And so we changed our office policies one day and said, if you're doing this, this is allowed and this is not. And then a couple of days later, I had to change the office policies again based on new news with, okay, now we can do things here, but not here. And basically, as a company, we've had to change our guidance based on what's happened in the world multiple times, because I want our agents to be up to speed and notified of what's happening in our communities and how we're allowed to continue to operate. I don't want to be on the news like I saw a big retailer yesterday. I don't want to say their name, but they were operating as an essential business, and the police and the sheriff showed up and shut them down. And I thought, man, thank goodness we've got our office policies in place to make sure our agents know what they can and can't do, because it's
Yeah,
changing all the time.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, if anyone would like to get a hold of you and your business to learn more about you, your services, maybe check out some of your listings, how do they get a hold of you, Melissa?
Sure, absolutely. So if they'd like to call and just chat with us, and by the way, we are here as a trusted resource, not just for helping people buy and sell a house, especially right now. People might be calling to say, hey, I can't make my house payment. I heard there's this mortgage forbearance thing. How does that work?
Yeah.
We are happy to be a resource to explain things that are impactful to a consumer that aren't about buying and selling. Maybe it's their mortgage. Maybe it's, can I not pay my rent? Maybe it's, how are my property taxes going to look? But if they wanted to contact us for that, or heck, buying or selling a house, they can call our office. The office line is 469-759-3899, or they can always check us out online. And there's some really great information on our blog right now about what's happening, and real estate and working from home and all kinds of things. And our website is www.northtexastopteam.com. And they can go check out any information about our agents, what we've got going on, and how we're let me tell you one more thing that we're doing. We're
Yeah.
supporting local businesses, kind of like what you're doing here. We have one agent that on social media has just been tagging every local business and trying to bring her clients and customers and neighbors to awareness of them. But additionally, some of our agents are even out there volunteering and helping out at the food pantries. We as realtors, we build our communities, right? It's not just helping somebody buy or sell a house. It's building the great communities that people live in and being involved in those places where we live and work. So, gosh, we just have so much other stuff that we're focused on to give back while we can, while we have that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really appreciate you doing that. I mean, back when we were working together, it was just really good to see the community that you had with a younger family, and just, I mean, you were always one of those people that just always took care of others. So now that you're in this business and have done it for so long, it does not surprise me at all that that's the kind of leader that you are. So I think that's fantastic.
Awesome. Thanks.
Well, Melissa, I loved catching up with you a little bit. I appreciate you doing this with me. Please give Stanley, that husband of yours, a high five, and or punch him in the face, whatever you need to do. I know Stanley. So
Yeah.
for those that don't know why I said that, super dude. Go play guitar with him. But
Right.
it's really good to see you, and I wish you the best of luck and hope everything goes well for you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, have a great day.
All right, you as well. See you around.
Bye.